How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel, and yes, welcome back to Box to Box. It's back. I see the comments, a lot of people asking where it's been. Initially, it wasn't meant to be back in this shape and form, but the people wanted it, the community wanted it, so I'll try and give what the community wants. And the Box to Box show is back for the rest of this season and beyond. If you want it, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you share it, leave your comments, do all of that stuff, people, and I'll continue bringing it to you each and every game as long as I can find a fan for that team. But we move into a big one, and
you found a fan for this team, innit?
We found one or two. We found one or two, and I brought the what I'd call the most humble of the lot in Flex United View. Big up Flex. What are you telling me, my bro?
I'm here, man. Thanks for having me, man. Box to Box. This is a prestigious show.
Are you the most humble of the lot?
Depends what mood I'm in, and depends who I'm talking to. I got like some authority. I think if it's someone I want to wind up or get under, I can be that guy.
You and X Saga has brought out a different side. I've
Correct.
Just come to mind.
I can be that guy if I need to be, but mostly when I need to talk about my team in a normal way, I can.
What's your chuckle brother doing? Over at United View,
bro.
He called me the other day on his stream. You know he likes to call people.
Because you lost.
Because we lost, but how do you kill a man that's dead?
Bro, you know what it is, yeah? I'll be honest. When you're in the dumps, like, you're gonna get licks regardless. Like, when we lose our next game, we've been in it. So, especially the way KG is like, he's like, bro, what's
take what you can.
May as well, take what you can. And I do hear that. I send that, I was a couple of Babs' tweets and that. I'm under there, tossing, I'm under there.
Maybe not the most humble of the lot. Maybe not the most humble of the lot.
I'm there, but I'm not the loud, because KG's loud.
Should have got Marcella Owen.
Owen is the most humble.
Owen, okay. Yeah. I know for next
and Marcel,
time. I know for next time. But hit the like button, people. United FA Cup fixture. The FA Cup is here next to us. We've won it 14 times. You won it 13 times after the recent one. You're the current holders of it.
It's our trophy right now, mate. We're trying to hang on to it.
And it's a big 6 game against what many might call, including myself, fallen giants. I grew up in an era where Arsenal, United were the top of English football, the pinnacle, that 7-year period going back and forth, 4 league titles, 3 league titles, treble winners, invincibles, multiple FA Cups, legends throughout, to now, where still very different circumstances, but a game that's built up in importance, one for us because of what we haven't been doing in the league and now the Carabao Cup first leg, and for you because you've got a new manager in, and albeit turbulent times over the years, you still managed to do well in the domestic cup competition. So first and foremost, how do you look at this fixture, regardless of it being Arsenal? It's an FA Cup fixture. Considering the success you've had in the last couple of years, coupled up with the anguish, frustration of form and the Premier League bread and butter, what is this game to you? Is it another? I won't call it a free hit because there's no free hits at Man United. But Amarim said that himself the other day.
No free hits.
Results continue going this way before the Liverpool game. I expect my position to be in doubt. But it's a welcome change. I guess it's a welcome change for me as an Arsenal fan, considering we're coming off the back of a draw to Brighton, a loss in the first leg at home to Newcastle.
Yeah,
this is a competition
win as well.
Right now we ain't touched so far, we ain't had a chance to F it up so far. But how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's not a free hit. Of course, like, the different pressures for different teams exist in different forms, right? So we're coming off the back of the Liverpool draw, but before that, it's more than back-to-back L's. We're in a bad place. Looking over our shoulders to Ipswich and Palace, and you know what I mean? So we're in a bad spot. So losing games doesn't help in any context or any competition, especially if you lose them in bad ways. So we are the holders of this trophy. Like, it's as soon as we pulled you out the hat, I went, why?
Yeah.
Third round away.
14, 13,
but as they say in these competitions, man, you have to play the big boys at some point. If you have to go on a difficult run and knock one of them out, then that's what you got to do to win it. Last year, we had to beat Liverpool in dramatic fashion. We had to beat City. You know what I mean? Had to hold our nerve against Coventry 3-0 up.
Remember that?
On pens.
Remember that?
Sackable offence, that in itself.
Yeah.
But I'm more confident going to Arsenal than I have been in a little while. And that's not saying I believe we're definitely going to win. I just mean in terms of where you're at the minute. There's a few little blips happening, and there's a little bit of in-house, not fighting, but there's a few frustration, There's things we can exploit. And if we turn up and perform like we did at Liverpool, then we can give you a proper tough night. And even in the league game, bro, I'll be honest, like I was pleasantly surprised for large parts. We still didn't believe enough in our attack. We still haven't figured that out, how to attack potently enough.
Yeah.
And we got undone by the set pieces. But in open play, when I thought we'd get destroyed by the likes of Saka and Odegaard with the luxury at the carpet, it didn't happen.
We got one chance and that came at 2-0, I think.
It came at 2-0 when exactly. So I was like, you know what? If we can put in a performance like we did against Liverpool, we've got a chance. However, I'm still not under any illusions as to what my team are until there's a bigger sample size of performances like Liverpool. You're at Anfield, bro. That's the biggest game in the calendar along with City for United. If you can't get up for being at Anfield in the cauldron of noise, in the trenches, when everyone's saying you're going to get 8-0 as a pro and saying you got no dignity and pride, you can't get up for that.
True.
Get out. Can you get up for this consecutive? Can you get up for Southampton at Yard when you got to be at the front on the front foot at Old Trafford? Different types of things. So I'm not getting gassed off the Liverpool result, although I was very happy with it. But I'm expecting us to really give you a game, and I want us to be not scared. Do you know what I mean? We have to play it and put you under pressure.
You talked about weaknesses to exploit. We're going to get into that, but you also mentioned the game earlier in the season, not too long ago. You said you was pleasantly surprised by some things, and although we won 2-0, I was frustrated with some things, like the fact we didn't create much, if anything at all, aside from that Havertz chance. You didn't start Diallo in that game.
No, we didn't.
And around that game, because just before it and since, he's been the brightest spark in that attack.
Best player.
Now you talk about exploiting weaknesses. Are you looking at Diallo there and maybe our left-hand side?
I like Lewis Skelly. I'm not going to lie, that kid's he's done really well, really aggressive, really powerful.
And I say fair, but I think Calafiori might come in though.
Yeah, and I would prefer that, I'd be honest. And he's a decent defender, by the way. He's a competent defender, but you know, in this moment, probably not in the best form. Come back off injury, right? As well, had a few injuries.
But Lewis Skelly, he's been moving to
excelled.
people.
You know what I mean? I like him. But Ahmad's got to play. That was the big, you know, at the Emirates, we played Malacia against Saka, which I was surprised at, and he did all right for 45 minutes. And when Ahmad came on, instantly Zinchenko had big problems. Like pulled him down, got a yellow card. And it was the same at Spurs when we didn't start the big guys as well. And I'm like, if we would have started our proper team against Spurs in the Carabao Cup, we probably wouldn't have been 3-0 down against a dead Spurs side as well. So we've had a full week's rest to prepare, just like we did for Liverpool. And we saw the sort of performance we've turned in at Liverpool with a full week's prep. I'm expecting to see better, if not the minimum the same, with another week's full prep. So Ahmad, we're starting to get a little bit of an equilibrium of what our team is now. Without the signings that we need. Ahmad and Bruno are the best 10s. Xerxes having a tough time. Let's be real. Hoyland's not good enough, but he's the only real 9. Rashford's done out.
How did it get to boiling point with Xerxes so quick in terms of being booed? Because
I didn't agree with that.
It normally is the match-going fans that are last in terms of displaying.
Do you know what I feel
displeasure.
like? I feel like that was, and it should never have happened because I don't condone that at all. He was like a scapegoat for a lot of frustrations around everything at that point. Because after 33 minutes when he got taken off, bro, that could have been, we were 2-0, that could have been anyone. They were all dead in that. You know what I mean? He could have took off Eriksen, he could have took off, because Kobe Mainoo come on, he could have took off loads, he could have took off Casemiro, he could have took off flipping any of the forwards, any of the defenders. It was shocking. It shouldn't have been just on him. And since then, like you said, the match-going fans singing his name at Liverpool, they've given him that boost. You know what I mean? Because we're like, nah, we don't want to treat the players like that.
Misplaced anger.
Exactly. The Glazers, the Ineos doing this with ticket prices, mashing up the fit. What's been positive? We're 14th in the league at the time. What, you getting smashed at home? He was just the fall guy because he got taken off and everyone wants to see Kobe come on. Which is not right. So, but he's having a tough time. So in terms of at the top end of the pitch, Rasmus Højlund's also having a tough time because he's not good enough. So, but he's our best what we got right now. So we just have to play the best team. Maybe bring in a Euro though. I don't mind taking De Ligt out of there for a game. Give me Martinez, Maguire, Euro. Don't mind that. The wing backs, that's all we got.
These
Dalot
big games,
and Mazraoui.
though, young defender. I mean, it's a big game.
It's a big game, but we brought him on 1-0 down against you, bro. You have to go in on Trossard and make a big tackle. 1v1, looked after himself. We brought him on against Liverpool. 1v1 against Darwin Núñez, had to come back, make a big tackle. Like, this kid was wanted by Real Madrid, man. Like, He's ready to play.
Our attack ain't exactly scintillating right now.
Well, there you go. Like I think this is the perfect game to give him the nod in and say, because he hasn't been starting all the games. We've kept him back. Drop him in there, man.
What about the situations around a few? Obviously, Rashford one dates back a little bit, so we know the situation with that. Kind of, I'd say, but like Garnacho, Mainu, I think was it just them two who's come out recently that they might be up for grabs considering full-on profit and so on. Does that play a part in how they're utilised? Do you expect?
Nah, I'm really calm about that, bro. I'll be honest. Like I know, like the headline can create the hysteria around but if you break down what's actually being said, Kobe Mainoo's got 3 years left on his deal. They're not actively trying to sell these players. But if Man United are 13th in the league, not doing anything great, of course everyone's got their price. We're a terrible team. And we need
financially, you're probably...
And financially, as well, you have to look at this. Newcastle had to sell Elliot Anderson to Forest, didn't want to.
I never thought I'd see the day finances
crazy
are a problem for United.
Because of the years of mismanagement, bro. Yeah, players on big contracts can't get them out. Even if trying to get Rashford out is tough. Look what Jadon Sancho, look how long that took to... Anthony.
It was in my face. I was seeing it, but you just kept on doing it.
When you exactly
from Di Maria and Falcao days, I just kept on seeing it.
Bro. We've done it loads of times.
They got a bucket load of money that just keeps them being.
And now we're paying the price for it. We're paying the price for it. So if somebody comes in, and also it's interesting as fans how the needle moves, right? Because when Garnacho's scoring overhead kicks last year, and when there's the picture of him, Rasmus, and Kobe sitting on the board, all like this. You know what I mean? We're going, that's our future. Fast forward to we're 13th, there's a new manager who plays inside 10s, and that don't really suit Garnacho. If someone said, here's 55 million for Garnacho, and you can take that money and, I don't know,
of course, get
a Kvaratskhelia. I'm not saying him on someone, you're going to go, all right. Do you know what I mean? So Kobe's probably a little bit more untouchable. That's harder to replace. Someone who's that comfortable with the ball in central midfield, that young, is more difficult to replace the skill set of Garnacho, who's a pacey winger, get at people. You can pick that up. You know what I mean? I just think that they're being smart, because also you don't want to let the players know that they are untouchable as well. So I'm calm about that.
What do you think about us though? Obviously, our circumstances this season haven't lived up to expectation, both for us Arsenal fans and a lot of opposition fans that also looked at what Arteta done over the last couple of years, the team produced, and also put us as their prediction to win the league. I know we're not talking about the league now, but it culminates in this, draw to Brighton, a Carabao Cup defeat that, when you look at it, who beats Newcastle by 3 away from home, it's going to be difficult to turn that one around. And obviously the pressure's building on I see you in the comments of Yardman's fan cams. Last couple of times I see you in the comments.
Just listen to Yardman.
What's your view? Be like, the Chuckle Brother ain't here. This is what I talk because they want to hear.
Listen,
then
that's what I'm saying. Because when KG's here, it will just turn into, bro, if he doesn't win something, bro, we have to talk about what's really going on, right? And the context of what's going on. I will do that. Listen, there's a lot that's gone right for Mikel Arteta, I feel, and there's a lot that's gone right for Arsenal. The belief has been back. The mere reason that you lot are in this position where you're going, this is not good enough, we want to win the league, he's changed that. You've had some good transfer windows, but I think this crucial one in the summer wasn't good enough. And when you look back at the signings that were made, and you look at the context in which they were made, you're basically coming from a period where you're saying, Man City, you've chased you down twice and you've competed twice. How are you going to get over that line? And you've come back with a Sterling, which you did say,
long time ago.
Yeah, because you know my thoughts on Sterling.
Yeah, that's when he moved to Chelsea, I said that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you did say that actually. But you came back with a Sterling who's far from that player.
Yeah.
You came back with a Mikel Merino that's not a difference maker. Tidy footballer, but to catch City and to make that X factor difference, that's not the guy. And you came back with Calafiori. And look what Lewis Skelly's doing. So do you really need that signing? So what did he spend, like about 70 odd M's?
What was it, about 40, Calafiori, 40, 80, about 80.
Yeah.
We made 10 million profit overall, but spend-wise, about that.
You have to go and get Killer.
Yeah.
You have to. And I think there are periods where Arsenal, where the goals are flying in, you're beating Sporting 5, you're giving 5 to West Ham, or which are, fine, Havertz in a bit of good form and stuff like that. But those are not the fine margins that it takes to catch City. It's the consistency of being able to do that game in, game out, not in spurts. And also, I think the football's gone backwards. I was watching Arsenal, frightened for my life, you know, getting opened up at times. You know, look at the Newcastle game. The time you really opened up was that transition with Martinelli clean through. I used to see Arsenal do that all the time. 1v1s, big chances, cut back goal, opening up. And now teams are going, I don't think they've got that cutting edge anymore. Listen, the superiority with the set pieces can't take that away from you. We're almost playing for those corners. We're almost playing for those set pieces now, because it's such a big thing, which is a good weapon to have in your armory. But I just feel that
can't be the main weapon.
Yeah, and Mikel Arteta can't escape criticism for making those decisions. You let Smith Rowe go and brought in Mikel Merino.
And Vieira. Smith
and Vieira. Do you know what I mean?
How did the profile switch up so much?
That you have to be accountable. Edu, has he actually left yet? Edu.
Apparently, but I thought he left. Apparently he's gardening.
Oh, right, okay. But him and Arteta, and they're the guys who sit down and agree that this is what we're going to do. So you have to live and die by those decisions. And I just think when I look at Arsenal now, they are heavily reliant on the main players like Saka and Odegaard. But that's not really a disgrace. You know, Liverpool's main goals always come from Salah because he's that good. But it's the fact of when them players aren't there, what's the plan B? How has this squad been constructed? And there's been so much emphasis on the defence. There's been so much emphasis into midfield, which you don't really get a lot of goals from midfield as well. Declan Rice is not a high volume scorer. You know, like when City can have a Gundogan in his prime, box crashing. You can have a De Bruyne getting goals from there. If it's not Saka, or it's not, you know, Martinelli chipping in, or, you know, Trossard would do his little bit here and there. Havertz goes through the purple patch, and then maybe he's not as clinical. Jesus is now surplus, it looks. It's like the goals aren't coming from midfield. Partey's not a high volume scorer. Mikel Merino is not. Odegaard, I think, he had the season. Was it last season actually?
What, the great season?
Yeah.
That was the season before.
Season before.
Scored 16 or 15.
Do you know what I mean? So you're thinking, can he put them numbers up? Hasn't managed to do that. But he facilitates the way you play and gets you playing. But is he the finishing article, the high volume assist, the high volume goals?
He feels like an 8, bro. He feels like an 8.
Exactly. He's not. So I just feel like you need the real difference makers now at the top end of the pitch. Like you've come too far to let the likes of Arne Slot just come in here and win this league before you.
That's my worry as well, though. Arne Slot's first season comes in, takes points off Mikel. Albeit we had defensive injuries and more during the game, but Maresca comes in, new manager, takes points. Ursula twice this season. Amorim didn't in his first game, but set up quite well to stifle us. This is his second time out off the back of a positive result. So, you know, hopefully you can't produce that level of performance against Liverpool, because if you produce the level of performance you did against Liverpool and we produced the level of performance we did against Newcastle, I think you win the game. Yeah,
I see where you're going with that, and that's why I've looked at this game and I'm like, for the first time, I think we could inflict a really damaging defeat on you. Like, and I don't just mean just because of the cup. I mean for the confidence.
In the preview, I said, if we go at the FA Cup, you see Monday.
2 cups in a week.
You see Monday, I might be commented on Yardman. Because,
you might be there. So I'm saying,
bro,
because let's be honest, you're not going to win the Champions League.
And the title race is in other teams' hands at this moment in time. That's without assigning and internal solutions. Very, very Wenger 2015.
Yeah,
it feels
100%. And it's at home. You know, and Arsenal, I will give you credit in terms of the bounce back ability. Like usually, if you look like you need a big reaction, a big game. And I know we're not a very good team right now, we're in transition, but it's still Man United at home. You need a performance. So if you can go and dust us down 2-0, light work, Man United didn't have a sniff. That's what we want to see. That is what you need. You need that type of performance to kickstart again, because then you've got Spurs next.
Our 2 most hated back to back. What chance do you need?
Exactly.
That those 2 can reignite or extinguish.
And we've got the chance now to go, because our players are coming out after the game, and Amorim, and damn right, saying I'm mad. It's not about the system. Everyone's saying change 3-4-3. It's not good. No, this application, bro, and this heart. Like,
very
apply
honest.
yourself.
Yeah, very honest.
Yeah, I don't give a crap about the system and that. It's the principles of the game. If you do most of the basics correctly to a good intensity, we've got quality in individuals and we'll shine through. If you're organised and have a clue what you're doing and all apply yourself and fly into tackles and be strong and show Arsenal, we ain't come here to play. And I sensed a little bit of that in the first game of the Emirates. I was sitting in the away end and I'm like, 10 minutes gone, 20 minutes gone, 30 minutes. I'm going, Emirates is a few jeers at half time, you know what I mean? And then we got undone by the set pieces. If we can stay clear of the set pieces, which is easier said than done, and my God, if we can get the first goal, I honestly think that, I don't know, that I just think the atmosphere will just turn. In
we're at that place now. Where it's like, I'm not. Listen, people bring the word toxic. I mean, we're not there because it took 10 or 12 years of just madness from Wenger to lead us there. But he had credit in the bank.
Enough credit.
And this is 5.5 years now, you know. So when you look at the stadium, 10 minutes to go against Newcastle, very emptiest it's been in a long time. You can use the excuses of nighttime game and so on, but trust me, better football, better result, better performance level out there. People are staying after the final whistle. It's what we're seeing. So to be honest, we're in a tough place. And I used to have a segment. I say used to, it's still a segment where I say, who's the key man that you have to stop for Arsenal? And I usually know it's going to be Saka or Odegaard.
Yeah.
Today, it's not going to be Saka. We know that.
Yeah.
It might be Odegaard by default. But I mean, if there's a key man that for Arsenal that United need to keep quiet, in your perspective, who would that key man be?
Gabriel Magalhaes, I say his name.
That's where we're at.
Pieces,
man
bro.
Said the centre back,
bro. Because when he's
go.
queuing up at the back post, bro, and all the blockers are coming, it's danger. And I sat in that stadium a few weeks ago, and I had my heart in my mouth at every single corner, bro. And that's for us, though, to be fair, to make it not as nervy as that. Because Newcastle sort of, and you still created 2 chances from Timber and Saliba where they should have scored. And obviously Havertz's one weren't set piece, but he should have scored his shoulder. So even Newcastle with big Dan Burn, you know, Isak and Botman and they got big lads there. Even they conceded big chances. So I'd say Gabriel for that. But if I'm talking open play,
that's fair. You don't know. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's not the same. It doesn't feel like Havertz. We controlled him perfectly fine. Maguire just no problem.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the truth, bro. Maguire was no problem. We've done it to Diaz, Maguire, no problem.
Yeah.
We've done it to Haaland, no problem. So Maguire's in a good form with the back three, bro. So I don't fear Havertz.
He's getting a new contract soon, isn't it?
They triggered the extension.
Oh yeah.
So that he can just see what in the summer, see what's going on, give us a bit more thinking time because we've got Lindelof's going to leave, Evans is going to leave. We need to keep some. But Martinelli, listen, he hasn't been great, and I was very comfortable with how Dalot dealt with him last time as well. But you know, he's not a killer in front of goal, but he can get in behind. He works, so you always got to be aware of him. But Odegaard, I'd probably just say. Obviously, he's the dictator. He's the creator. He can make things happen.
Let me define this question a bit more because I like the Gabriel answer anyway, and I don't, I don't define it to any position on the pitch. But we've got 3 positions in attack, right?
Yeah.
We've got Trossard, Martinelli, Havertz, Sterling. Which of those 4 don't you want to see?
Trossard, Martinelli, Sterling.
Yeah, and Havertz.
And Havertz. I don't want to see.
There's 3 positions, so which one of those don't you want to see? Even that's a different. I thought I'm making it easier, but
Martinelli.
Okay.
I'd still probably say Trossard's. I like. He's techie. He can take the ball well, but just raw pace, running in behind, being at it, honest worker.
Better off the bench anyway.
Yeah, Havertz. I think he's in a bit of a bad patch at the minute, and I don't know the way we marshalled him last time. I feel like we can do that again. I just feel like we can do that again. So you're not as potent as you are. And listen, these words. Listen, you can score goals. You're still Arsenal at home, but you're not at your best. So I'd probably say Martinelli out of them.
Cool. Prediction? I'll kick you off because they already know my prediction. I've done it on a few shows already. I said 2-2. Extra time. See what happens. Pen. See what happens. Still expect to get the job done, but I see goals in this game, man, and I see Diallo causing a problem because I do think we might change it up on that left back side.
As long as we pick that strongest team, which I don't see there should be any reason why it shouldn't be Mainu, Ugarte. It should be unchanged from Liverpool, really. Maybe De Ligt out and Euro in. That's the only change I'd probably make. I just, because I know my team, bro, it's the Emirates. You lot know, I hate, you don't know. I say it every time.
Bro,
I say it every time, and every time I'm right.
It goes without saying, bro.
So I still don't have enough chest to be able to say we're going to come and deal with you. I think we'll give you a really good game. I think we'll make it really uncomfortable for you. I think we'll score. But I think you'll just about do it. Yeah, 2-1 Arsenal. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but that draw shout, I do like that. I do like that. But we'll give you a good game. They just better go there and believe. It's because there's not enough sample size at the Liverpool game. It's one game where I've seen them turn up and show something.
And the only other game before that was City.
Actually,
that was
to be
really
fair.
the last 10 minutes.
Exactly. So I need to see a bigger sample size and hopefully this could be part of it.
Alright, 2-2, 2-1.
But if you lose,
Bro, I told you, forget. I don't care about you. I'm going to Yardman if we lose on Monday. Trust me.
and because I haven't had a W at the Emirates in so long, I'm doing the humble thing now to talk about ball, because I'm there.
I hear it, bro.
Brother.
Man. If you want me on Saturday next week, be my guest, man. Just shout me.
Please.
Just shout me.
Please.
Just leave the Choco Brother away, because
I can't promise that.
I know you can't,
Yeah, I
because
can't
he's going to be
promise
on
that.
everything that happens. But listen, it is what it is. I Flex.
Come
No?
on.
Come on.
Come on.
Big up Flex on his return to Box to Box, and the return of Box to Box, people. Like I said, hit the like button. We should be on 1,000 likes now. If we're not, make that happen, people, because if you want Box to Box to continue for the rest of the season and beyond, show it some love. Leave a comment, give us your thoughts, prediction, lineup, your thoughts on Flex's thoughts, and just generally what's going on around both clubs. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe. Love for the love, people, and go show United you some love. All right, peace.